the mindset of it is what is so different. And I would definitely recommend, because these faddy diets, you know, yes, they can be successful. You can lose loads of weight very quickly and all of that, but it doesn't change your mindset. And then if you came off it and put on an ounce here and there, then you're back into that guilt.
Hi everyone, Rachel here at the Ditch the Diet podcast. Welcome to this bonus episode. My name is Rachel Watson, I'm your host, and this is the podcast for people all over the world who want to learn how to quit yo-yo dieting and start living a healthier lifestyle without restriction. This is also the podcast for you if you want to learn how to say goodbye to food guilt and start improving your relationship with food. And of course, this podcast is sponsored by the Ditch the Diet Academy, which is a membership site that is your alternative to a lifetime of slimming clubs, where I will teach you the exact steps that you need to take in order to learn how to quit dieting forever, improve your relationship with food and get your body confidence back. You can check that out at ditchthedietacademy.com. So speaking of the Ditch the Diet Academy, I have with me today on this bonus episode of the podcast, Kate Mantle, who has been a member of the Ditch the Diet Academy since April this year, April 2018, and she has kindly agreed to come onto the podcast for this one-off episode to tell you a little bit about how her life has changed since becoming a member of Ditch the Diet. So I won't ramble anymore because, as we know, I have a tendency to do that. I will get straight into this short interview with Kate. I'll be back at the end to tell you more about how you can start your journey with the Ditch the Diet Academy. So let's start off by having a chat about how you felt before you found Ditch the Diet. Where were you? How did you feel, and what stage were you at?
Well, I've always been really active. I was a PE teacher previously, so exercise has always been really important to me. And I do a lot of home cooking and things like that. But I had an injury back 4 years ago where I was on crutches for kind of 3 months. Mm-hmm. And so it was the first time in my life really that I couldn't actually do any exercise. And it was really, really frustrating. And I found kind of mental health wise as well, became quite stressed and quite anxious. And then when I could exercise again, I was limited to what I could do. Couple of pounds crept on, not loads, you know, I'm still kind of quite small, mm-hmm. but I'm only 5'1", so every little ounce and kind of pound kind of made a big difference. And then psychologically, obviously, I didn't feel my best either. So I had a recurrence of the injury back last year. And again, I wasn't on crutches for so long, but still felt the same. I was having physio and felt quite frustrated, really. Mm-hmm. And in terms of eating, you know, was the typical yo-yo dieter, you know, would do really, really well all week, make my own soups, do all of that, and then get to a Friday and think, oh, what the hell, it's the weekend, and it would all just go out the window, and then feel guilty, and then start again on Monday, and try and change absolutely everything straight away. And then, you know, by the time it came to Thursday, I would have failed again and feel miserable and feel a failure and just start again. So yeah, I was kind of trapped in that kind of world, really. And feeling frustrated with not being able to exercise as much and just thinking, oh, you know, this extra few pounds is just going to keep going and going and going, and just scared of where it would end up, really. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what had you tried? So did you try any like specific diet plans, or was it you kind of your own forms of restriction?
Yeah, you kind of like pick out a couple of the Slimming World recipes and try those. But to be honest, I don't think I'm clever enough to get my head around all the sins. I never really understood it all. It was all a bit of a minefield, so I thought, forget that. You know, we try the kind of low carb, cutting all that out. But, you know, at the end of the day, I like my food. And I would just be starving. And thought, no, this is not the way to go. I mean, I try little faddy things. I do admit to trying the raspberry ketone stuff. That was a waste of time.
Yeah.
But remember that was all the things
I
everybody was
remember
doing.
that, yeah. I remember people trying to get me to sell that to people, and I was like, are you having a laugh?
And I know a few people who did like the forever living and stuff, and I just kept thinking, well, if you're eating all this really healthy food, why do you then need to take a supplement for this and a veggie tablet for that? And I just never understood it really. So I never actually stuck to any long-term diet, but we're just trying to eat healthily really.
And when did you come across Ditch the Diet now? I was trying to remember exactly when it was. But
when was it? You were still in Australia.
Yeah, so it must have been like the beginning of this year then, possibly.
Yeah, I think it was around kind of April, May.
Yeah. It must have been April because I was back here in May in Glasgow.
Yeah. Probably April time, yeah.
And what sort of drew you to give what we offer a go as opposed to everything else? So did you have any reservations before you joined?
No, not really, because I watched a few of your kind of podcasts and things on Facebook, and I just loved the straight talking, no bullshit kind of attitude of, well, no excuses, and I really liked that. And I really enjoyed when I signed up then, kind of, it wasn't all about food straight away. It was the kind of decluttering the kitchen, decluttering the fridge, and all kind of little things that I think got me emotionally and mentally ready.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the important bit. Like, that's what we've tried. That's what I've tried so hard to get. And it
was at that point that people, my manager and people in work were noticing, they were like, I noticed a difference in me. I mean, I've always been quite a positive person and I'm very bubbly and chatty and, but people were saying to me, whoa, you seem really different. And I suppose that flipping it and trying to become more positive and, it definitely did impact and people noticed, which was good.
Yeah. And how has your life changed since you joined in, let's say, April? What has been the biggest?
Well, you inspired me to take up CrossFit.
Side note, you don't have to.
Yes, I do accuse you for that sometimes, mind rage, when I'm struggling. I love it. Absolutely love that. Like I said, I've always done sport. I've always been fit and healthy. I did a PE degree, but that's not anything I'd ever done before. I was obviously scared to do in a gym with all the muscle-bound men and not knowing what to do. So going to a CrossFit gym is just... it's amazing, and I've met such a good group of friends and everybody's kind of really supportive and it's fab. I love it. So I still go to CrossFit. I try and go 3 times a week. And I also, you inspired me to go back to netball, which I hadn't played for 14 years nearly.
Oh, wow.
So I joined a summer league in June and thought, what the hell am I doing? It was just like a mix-ups team. So there was a few girls who played for netball teams but who didn't have a whole team to kind of enter. And then there was me who hadn't played forever and a few others who were coming back from having babies and things. We didn't even have bibs. We looked like the poor man's relation the first day. And I thought,
remember when you told me that.
I'm going to come again. I said to my husband, I'll go tonight, but I can't see me going again. Started off playing wing attack and was on the floor by kind of the end of the first quarter. But after 10 weeks, I could see my fitness really improve and we'd won a few matches and just getting that kind of team bonding together again with a group of girls. So that inspired me to join a netball team. And I now play weekly. And I'm playing centre and wing attack, which I never would have thought I'd ever play centre again. Usually up against 15-year-old girls every week in a league and getting whooped. But, I'm proud of myself that 6 months ago I would never have been able to play a quarter as centre. And if you told me I'd be playing a whole hour's netball, centre, wing attack, I never would have believed it. So... that's a really, really big change that's happened. I'm definitely feeling mentally better. I'm coming off my happy pills. I've reduced the dose right down now, so I'm looking to be off those by just after Christmas. And I think exercise is a big part of that as well, isn't it? Because when I couldn't exercise, that's when kind of I found myself not feeling so good mentally as well. So that's been a big changer. I just think I'm more positive, see things. I always try and remember what you said, about, you wouldn't say that to your best mate, so why would you say it to yourself? And look in the mirror and think and try and be positive. It was I think I'm just more reflective as well, and looking at things. The grateful log has been really helpful as well. Just genuinely thinking about what you are grateful for. At the end of each day, and it's something I always used to do with my kids when they were really little. We put them to bed, they shared a room and read a story, and I'd always say their prayers with them, and then say, right, tell me one thing you're thankful for today, or you want to say thank you for. And it's something I never really took on board myself.
I think a lot of people say that to me, that it's something that they do with their kids, but they never thought that it would be useful to do for themselves. I hear that quite a lot.
Yeah, and I think I did mindfulness back last year as well, and kind of you lose sight of that sometimes, but just kind of I'm always so busy, and I'm 100 mile an hour walking all the time, rushing from here to there. My mum says, you never stand still. And sometimes just walking to the office and walking slowly and just kind of looking at the birds, looking at the trees, taking things in, I think can just make you feel so much better.
Yeah. And what about nutritionally, food-wise? What's changed for you there? Do you feel
well, I've always cooked a lot of my own things, but I'm definitely being more adventurous and looking for different recipes. My youngest son has turned vegetarian since kind of the beginning of the year as well, so looking at more vegetarian options that we can all eat as well. Snacks, I think, has been a big thing for me, and obviously doing the CrossFit now, trying to focus on protein and then adding everything else around that. And I've got friends who do CrossFit who don't eat carbs. Well,
oh my goodness. That's awful.
After I've done CrossFit, I could eat my own arm.
Yeah.
So I just find the days I do CrossFit, by kind of 8-9 o'clock, I need something. And it's just making that healthy option, like those naked bars. I like those, and the ones I shared this week on the forum, the good nose bars. There's some really good stuff in, like Aldi's and Lidl's as well, the protein balls.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Things like those, and like hummus and veg and stuff. So I think making better snack choices.
Yeah, and like learning to listen. It sounds like you can now listen to your body, and it's telling you what it needs, and you can listen to that rather than not being able to hear.
And on the nights I've trained, by kind of 9 o'clock, I know normally I don't eat anything after my tea because I don't want anything. But if I've trained and done a really hard CrossFit, by about 9 o'clock, I need something.
Yeah, no, I can. Yeah, that's good. And so we're coming up to the time of year where everyone's starting to think about Christmas and probably not thinking about what diet they're going to go on just yet. We're probably thinking about all the food that they're going to consume over Christmas. But if someone is listening to this in sort of between Christmas and New Year, or even in the lead up to Christmas, and possibly thinking about either joining here, Ditch the Diet, or going on a diet of some sort, what advice would you give to that person? Because there are going to be a lot of people listening to this that are in that position.
I would definitely follow your program. It's not about a diet. Loads of times people can lose loads of weight, but then they kind of, when I start eating carbs again, or when I stop this diet, things are going to pile back on. Whereas, with the Ditch the Diet, it's all about the message, and it's not just the nutrition, it's the change of mindset and the change of how you feel and think about food. And I think that, I don't see myself as being on a diet at all. It's not. It's a change of lifestyle. And it's something that I know that I can sustain. And yeah, if you have a bad day, you have a bad day, but not feeling guilty about that. And just getting straight back into the mindset of, right, okay, this is a new meal time or a new day. And somebody in work the other day was kind of eating something stodgy and saying, oh God, I've had a terrible day. And I actually said to her, but one day doesn't make you the weight you are or the person you are. And she stopped and kind of looked at me and was like, I'd never thought of it like that. And she's nurse, and so I just think the mindset of it is what is so different. And I would definitely recommend, because these faddy diets, yes, they can be successful, you can lose loads of weight very quickly and all of that, but it doesn't change your mindset. And then if you came off it and put on an ounce here and there, then you're back into that guilt. Whereas I think, this program just, like I said, it changes your mindset, and I think everything then stems from that.
So I would just like to extend another big thank you to our Ditch the Diet Academy member Kate for sharing her story over the past 6 months or so with the Ditch the Diet Academy, and I hope it has inspired you to take action, not just in the new year but in the lead up to the new year as well, because the Ditch the Diet Academy is actually closing this Friday, the 14th of December 2018, until the 7th of January. We're making some upgrades, we're making some changes. I am writing a new course that's going in for the week between Christmas and New Year to help you set goals for 2019. So if you're already a member, you have that to look forward to. We're going to be doing it as a group together between Christmas and New Year. And then come New Year, we'll be ready to hit the ground running with some new goals and a plan of action in order to know how to get there. So you have just 5 days left to become a member of the Ditch the Diet Academy in 2018 before we close, to reopen in January with new membership prices, new membership costs, and a whole new year to look forward to. If you'd like to join before then just go to the link in the comments of this podcast. It's ditchthedietacademy.com/DTD-academy. I'll put the link in the show notes so you can just scroll down on whichever device that you're listening on right now and click on the link. It will take you straight there. And I will very much look forward to seeing you as a member in our community. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. It's just rach@ditchthedietacademy.com. That's rach@ditchthedietacademy.com. Just send me an email. Feel free to ask any questions you like and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And as always, we'll be back for another episode of the Ditch the Diet Academy, the Ditch the Diet podcast, this Thursday. And I will speak to you then.